The most sacred prophecy in the history of the seven realms is literally rewriting itself before our eyes. And what's happening to our chosen one is so unprecedented that even the ancient seers are questioning everything they thought they knew about destiny itself. Imagine being the high oracle who spent 60 years of your life studying every single word of the great prophecy, memorizing every symbol, every mystical verse, every divine commandment, only to watch in absolute horror as your prophesied savior defies the most fundamental law of the prediction, aging forward instead of backward. The Scrollmasters are in complete panic because nowhere, absolutely nowhere, in the thousands of prophetic texts does it mention anything about the chosen one becoming younger. Yet here we are, watching our adult warrior transform into what can only be described as a magically powerful but increasingly immature young person who just asked if they can postpone saving the world because they want to figure out how to make friends their own age again. If you want to uncover the terrifying truth about what happens when prophecies start changing themselves and why, the most powerful mystics in existence are secretly meeting to discuss whether they should intervene or let this cosmic anomaly play out. Smash that subscribe button, leave a like, and tell me in the comments if you think the Chosen One's de-aging is divine intervention or the universe's biggest mistake. But what I'm about to reveal next will completely shatter your understanding of how destiny actually works. According to the Keepers of the Eternal Flame, the original prophecy was carved into the tablets of infinite wisdom over 3,000 years ago by the first prophet, a being so connected to cosmic truth that their words were considered absolutely unalterable laws of reality. The prophecy stated with crystal clarity, "In the hour of greatest darkness, when evil threatens to consume all light, the chosen shall emerge, growing in wisdom and strength with each passing day, until they stand as an unbreakable beacon against the shadows." Notice the words, growing in wisdom and strength. There's literally no room for interpretation here, yet our chosen one is doing the exact opposite. Can you even begin to comprehend the implications of this? We're not just dealing with an unusual hero. We're witnessing the first documented case in recorded history of a prophecy actively contradicting itself while still somehow remaining true. The Council of Divine Interpreters held an emergency session that lasted for 3 days straight, trying to understand how someone can simultaneously be the prophesied savior and completely violate the prophecy's most basic predictions about their development. The truth is far more disturbing than anyone wants to admit. Deep within the celestial archives, there's a classified document that only the highest-ranking mystics have ever seen, and what it contains will absolutely blow your mind. This document, known as the Paradox Protocols, describes theoretical scenarios where prophecies could become self-contradictory due to interference from what they call timeline corruption. The document warns that when cosmic forces attempt to alter predetermined destiny, the universe might respond by creating what they term a prophetic inversion, essentially the exact opposite of what was supposed to happen. But here's where it gets absolutely mind-bending. Some of the most brilliant chronological scholars now believe that the Chosen One's de-aging isn't defying the prophecy at all. It's revealing a hidden layer of the prophecy that was always there, waiting for the right cosmic conditions to manifest. Think about this carefully. What if growing in wisdom and strength doesn't refer to physical or mental development, but to something far more profound? What if true wisdom comes from seeing the world through increasingly innocent eyes, and real strength comes from the fearless honesty that only children possess? The panic spreading through the mystical community is unlike anything we've ever witnessed. The Grand Library of Eternal Truths has sealed off entire sections because ancient texts are literally rewriting themselves. Words that have remained unchanged for millennia are shifting, sentences are rearranging, and most terrifying of all, Completely new prophecies are appearing overnight in books that were supposedly completed centuries ago. The head librarian reported that yesterday morning they discovered a new chapter in the Book of Ultimate Destiny titled "When the Young Shall Lead the Old," containing detailed descriptions of the Chosen One's reverse aging process. You need to understand just how unprecedented this situation has become. The Temporal Guardians, an organization so secretive that most people don't even believe they exist, have broken their 1,000-year vow of silence to issue a warning that has sent shockwaves through every magical institution. The fabric of predetermined destiny is unraveling. What was written in stone is becoming as changeable as writing in sand. The age of absolute prophecy may be ending, but wait until you hear what's happening to other prophetic figures across the realm. Intelligence reports are flooding in from every corner of the known world, describing similar phenomena. In the Crystal Kingdoms, their sacred warrior has started asking for bedtime stories instead of battle strategies. The mountain clans report that their spirit guardian now spends more time chasing butterflies than meditating on ancient wisdom. The desert nomad's vision walker has begun collecting colorful rocks instead of gathering cosmic insights. Are we witnessing a universal reversal of all prophetic destinies, or is our chosen one's condition somehow spreading to other chosen ones across reality? The political ramifications are absolutely staggering. Neighboring kingdoms that once trembled at the mention of our prophesied savior are now openly mocking us. The Shadow Empire has issued a formal declaration stating that they will no longer consider our child warrior a legitimate threat. But here's what's truly chilling. Intelligence reports suggest they're making a catastrophic miscalculation. Deep within enemy territory, their own ancient seers are warning that beings who possess ultimate power while maintaining childlike innocence might be the most dangerous forces in existence. Let me ask you something that will keep you awake tonight. What if the Chosen One's de-aging is actually the prophecy working exactly as intended, but on a level so advanced that no one recognized it until now? Ancient texts speak of the cycle of ultimate becoming, a mystical process where true power can only be achieved by returning to the source of all potential, the limitless possibilities that exist in youth. Could it be that every adult limitation, every learned fear, every accumulated cynicism was actually preventing our Chosen One from accessing their true cosmic potential? Comment below and tell me your theory about whether this de-aging is salvation or catastrophe in disguise. The magical community's response has been nothing short of chaotic. The Academy of Advanced Sorcery attempted to create a spell to halt the aging reversal, but instead of stopping the process, they accidentally made it faster. The Chosen One lost 3 years in the span of a single afternoon and spent the rest of the day asking if they could have ice cream for dinner because saving the world is really hard work. The spellcasters responsible have been temporarily banned from practicing magic until they figure out exactly what went wrong. But here's the most shocking development yet. The Chosen One's powers are becoming stronger, not weaker, as they grow younger. Yesterday, they effortlessly defeated a battalion of shadow wraiths using what they described as the tickle spell, a completely improvised form of magic that apparently makes evil creatures laugh so hard they forget to be evil. The Mystic Combat Guild has no classification for this type of warfare, and frankly, they're not sure whether to be impressed or terrified. The religious implications have split every faith community down the middle. The Orthodox believers maintain that questioning the Chosen One's development is tantamount to questioning divine will itself, regardless of how unusual their transformation appears. Meanwhile, the progressive theologians argue that this reversal proves the gods are far more creative and mysterious than anyone previously understood. The heretical scholars, never ones to miss an opportunity for controversy, claim this entire situation proves that prophecies are just elaborate cosmic jokes designed to keep mortals guessing. Ancient documents recently discovered in the Forbidden Vaults speak of something called the Great Reversal, a cosmic event prophesied to occur when the universe needs to be fundamentally reset. These texts, written in languages so old that only 3 people in the entire realm can translate them, describe a process where the most important figures in reality must return to their essential nature before they can fulfill their ultimate purpose. The texts warn that this reversal would be seen as weakness by those who don't understand its true nature, but would result in power beyond mortal comprehension. Intelligence from the enemy's own mystical advisors reveals something absolutely fascinating. The Dark Lords are not celebrating their apparent advantage. In fact, they're more terrified now than when the Chosen One was at full adult power. Ancient demonic texts speak of warriors who achieve innocent omnipotence, describing them as beings so pure and powerful that they can defeat evil simply by existing in the same realm. The texts warn that such beings cannot be corrupted, cannot be reasoned with, and cannot be defeated because they operate from a level of absolute moral clarity that evil cannot comprehend or counter. The time distortion effects around the Chosen One are intensifying daily. Witnesses report that in their presence, wilted flowers bloom again, broken objects repair themselves, and people temporarily forget their sorrows and remember what it felt like to be hopeful. But there are also disturbing reports of more serious temporal anomalies. Entire battlefields reverting to peaceful meadows, weapons transforming back into the raw materials they were made from. And most unsettling of all, some of the Chosen One's enemies aging backwards as well, becoming confused and docile rather than threatening. The question that's driving every scholar, every mystic, every advisor to the brink of madness is this: if the prophecy is changing itself to accommodate the Chosen One's reverse aging, what else might change? Could other fundamental laws of reality be subject to revision? Are we witnessing the beginning of a completely new cosmic order? Or are we about to watch everything we thought we knew about existence unravel into chaos? But perhaps the most disturbing revelation comes from the Chosen One themselves. In their increasingly youthful voice, they recently made a statement that has sent shockwaves through every philosophical institution. I remember being grown up, but I can't remember why I thought being grown up was important. All the scary things adults worry about don't seem scary anymore. They just seem silly. What happens to the fate of the world when your savior starts viewing the ultimate battle between good and evil as just another game to play? The Academy of Temporal Studies has issued their most dire warning yet. Their calculations suggest that if the Chosen One continues aging backwards at the current rate, they will reach mental infancy within 6 months. At that point, they will possess the magical power to reshape reality itself, but will have the decision-making capabilities of a toddler. The Academy's final report concludes with a question that no one wants to face. Is an infinitely powerful baby the salvation of the universe or its greatest threat? Reports from across the realm describe increasingly surreal encounters with the Chosen One. They've solved centuries-old diplomatic disputes by suggesting everyone just be nice to each other, ended a devastating plague by cheerfully asking the disease to please go away now, and most memorably, convinced a dragon to give up terrorizing villages by offering to teach it how to make friendship bracelets. Critics argue that these aren't real solutions, but supporters point out that the results are undeniably positive. Even if the methods defy all conventional wisdom, the final piece of this cosmic puzzle involves something that the highest levels of mystical authority have tried to keep secret. Deep beneath the capital, in chambers so protected that their existence is known only to a select few, lies the Master Chronicle, a mystical record that automatically documents reality as it unfolds. According to sources who risk everything by speaking out, the Master Chronicle has begun writing new chapters about futures that were never supposed to exist. It speaks of a reality where wisdom and innocence combine to create Something unprecedented in the history of existence itself. Leave your thoughts in the comments about whether our de-aging chosen one represents hope or catastrophe. And don't forget to subscribe for more revelations about prophecies that are breaking all the rules of destiny.